Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, Jeet Kune Do Rebel, and welcome to today's episode number 139 of the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues. As you're logging in, if you guys would be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the dialogue. And if you're catching the final edit video over on the YouTube, please, while you're there, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you enjoy my work and you'd like to support the program, visit jkdrebel.com, click on the Rebel Gear link and see what we have to offer. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the Jeet Kune Do dialogues. So I am waiting for my dialogue partner today, Sifu Randy of Valor, and there he is. All right, we got it working. Hey, all right, let me...
we got it working?
Yep, we sure did.
Awesome.
We sure did. And you have impeccable timing because you came up just as I was finishing the intro.
Oh, awesome. Pleasure to be here, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
You must be a Jeet Kune Do guy. You got such good timing.
It's all about that's correct. Timing is the main thing. Absolutely. You got it.
So how's it going?
Oh, awesome. Well, I was looking forward to this. Yeah.
So
just right there you go.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I didn't get to tell people.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I didn't get to tell people that you and I are really just like Facebook colleagues. I don't think we've ever
no, we
met
haven't
each
met
other in real life, right? But I find that you always have interesting things to say, and you always put out these good videos. So I'm happy to be meeting you for the first time too, man. So welcome to the Jeet Kune Do Dialogue.
I'm truly humbled. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
it. So listen, why the name Valor, JKD? Why Valor?
Well, it's the name. It's a good name. It deals with combat, chivalry, courage, and it's something that it deals with combat. Soldiers and So it's a good name that will really complement JKD.
Do you have a military background yourself?
No, sir. But I was in Beaufort before I moved to Myrtle Beach, and and I taught a lot of Marines. There's Paris Island, Paris Island Station in Beaufort. So I taught a lot of Marines. There are a lot of Marines who were students of mine when I had a school in Beaufort. So.
Right. All right. Well, you seem like an interesting guy. So I think I can tease you a little bit. What happened to the hair?
Age. Age.
Oh,
right? I'm not as young as you. I still got some. You see that? Can you see? I still got some. Still got some. Let me kind of adjust the camera. There you go. You see that? I got a little bit left.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So where was this picture taken?
This was taken in Torrance, California, at the Nucleus event, the second one.
Okay.
The one in '98, I think it was January '98, in Torrance, California. The Nucleus event.
Right.
And during dinner, so I went to him and I spoke to him and introduced myself. We had a nice 15 minutes conversation.
Okay.
Really nice guy.
In 1998, how long had you been in JKD?
Yeah, about 8 years. Because I met Sifu Lamar Davis in 1990, I think. Yes, sir. It's kind of funny the way I knew about it. Go ahead, sir.
No. You were going to say it's funny what?
It's it's a funny story how I met and knew of Lamar Davis, Sifu Lamar Davis. So, I was
tell us that story.
Yeah. I was
going to get to it anyhow.
Sorry about that. I messed up your order sheet. I was
No, that's okay.
I was working with and I was at work, and the gentleman, he walked in, and a guy I work with, and he said, "Oh, I went to Book a Million, and I saw this martial art magazine, and you're a karate guy, so here you go." So so I looked at it, and I was opening the page, and there was a page of the forming of the United States Jeet Kune Do Alliance. It was a picture of Sifu Lamar Davis, Sifu Tidwang, and I think Dr. Zelo.
Okay.
In that picture, and it said, then I was like reading, wow, you know, this is cool, and I was reading, and all of a sudden it said Birmingham, Alabama, and I said, that must be a correspondence address. You know, there's no Jeet Kune Do school in Birmingham, you know. And I was searching for a JKD school anyway, but you know, we didn't have the leisure of internet and all that stuff, you know, that much. You know, we were looking at we get knowledge through magazines. That's it.
Yeah.
So I looked at it, and there was a phone number. I said, let me call. No, let me call. So I call, and Sifu Lamar Davis answered the phone. You go, this is Lamar. Can I help you? I said, are you the dude in the picture? He said, what? What was this? That's exactly what I said. I was like, the dude in that picture.
The dude in the picture.
The dude in the picture. So he said, who is this? I said, my name is Randy, and I was looking at this magazine, and you're the guy in that picture, you know, with the Sifu Tidwang and all that. He said, what magazine? I think it's Inside Karate or something. I think I can't remember what it is. I still have it though at home. And he go, yeah, what can I help you with? I said, well, you really, sir, you don't look at me. You're not seeing me because you're on the phone, but I'm on my knees begging to be a student. All I heard is him laughing in the background. Yeah. That's all. He said, it is not as fast as you think. I said, what do you mean? He said, I have to meet you, interview you, and so on. I said, okay. He said, when you can come? I said, now? He said, no. Where you at? I said, in Huntsville, Alabama, because he was in Birmingham. He's about an hour and a half away from me.
Right.
And he said, come tomorrow. We'll talk. And I went, and the rest is history. So, yeah.
Now, the guy who got you the magazine said, well, you're a karate guy, Randy. So here, look at this. So what were you doing then? Before 1990.
Well, let's go back to 1984.
Okay.
If you want to know the story, the whole story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it's about.
You know, when I finished high school, I went to Cal State Hayward in California, because that's where I grew up. I grew up in California, and that's in the Bay Area. And you know, there's Chinatown and everything. So the Cal State Hayward invited a lot of Asian students from Taiwan, China, Japan, a lot of Asian students. So I tried to hang out with a lot of Asian guys, students, and some of them were martial arts. So we formed this martial art club. So a guy did Cho Li Fut, a guy did Wing Chun, a guy did Hungar, a guy did Shotokan karate, a guy did ninjutsu. So we hang around and we work out and we just brainstorm and stuff like that. So when I left California, I didn't have what you call professional official training, like going to school. You just hang out with these guys and train, cross train. Then I went to when I got to Alabama, I said I looked for a martial arts school, and there was like a Tang Soo Do school there, and I was there like for 6 months. I said, man, this is not for me. This is not what I want. I wanna learn JKD, but who teach it in Alabama? You know, there's nobody here. And then, I think I gained green belt in Tang Soo Do like in 6 months, and then I left, and then the guy brought the magazine and I started. So,
but when you were in the Bay Area, that's where you first heard of Jeet Kune Do?
Honestly, when I was in the Bay Area, because of in 1984, 85, 86, there wasn't no access to internet, and I wasn't into, I mean, every now and then I'll look at that martial art magazine. Might be funny and might be stupid of me, but I did not, at that time, I did not associate JKD with Bruce Lee, because I didn't know. I knew Bruce Lee. Yes, it is shocking, I know. So I was a big fan of Bruce Lee, and I knew he has his own style. I knew he teach kung fu and stuff like that, and but I did not have somebody to give me the knowledge and kind of lead me towards, oh, okay, he does JKD. This is what JKD is.
Right.
Okay, so I can pursue it. I didn't have, so, and then I met these guys and we hang out, and they all knew I was a Bruce Lee fan, and I've learned as much as I can from it. But I knew of JKD when I moved to Alabama. I knew of JKD, and I start searching. That's when my focus shifted. So, yes, sir. I wish, and actually I was in California where Guru Dan is, and Sifu, you know what I mean? I was in the JKD capital, and I didn't know about it, and I left the JKD capital. I mean, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, weird. And if you were in Northern California, I mean, you know, you had the Oakland. I mean, you were in the heart of it.
Yeah, I was there. It's just this brain wasn't there. Yeah. I don't know. 18-year-old. What I mean, can't think right, I guess.
Right. So when so after you, all right. So then continue the story. So then the next time, when you go up to Huntsville, to Birmingham, yes, what happened?
Well, I went down there, and it was he had a meeting with all his students, and I came in, and it was like dark, and there's no sign or nothing. I think he was meeting at a gym or something. Okay. It wasn't, the school wasn't ready yet. His school in Alabaster. Alabaster is like part of the Birmingham suburb. And it's like, okay, where's everybody? Then a gentleman, I knocked on the door, then they opened the door, and the guy, you know, came out, and he go, you know, what are you here for? What do you want? I said, I want to see Sifu Lamar Davis. And he kind of looked at me, said, okay, hold on. He didn't like the way I looked, because I was in a suit and a tie and everything. I was like, this guy, you know, I can just slap him and he probably drop on the floor. You know, it didn't look like a guy would be tough, you know, because I used to work, you know, like a corporate job. Right. So anyway, he walked in, he came back with another dude, which became one of my best friends. So the first one was Jason Chu. The second one is Michael Palmer. And he said, your name is Randy? I said, yeah. He said, follow me. Like, what is this, a military place or something? Yeah, where I'm going. And everything is, the room is dark. I can't see anything. And I was like, throwing a hallway, and it's dark. And then all of a sudden, he opened the door, and it's like a big room with a whole bunch of people in it, bunch of guys in it, and there's a light and everything. And there was Lamar Davis in there. He came in to me, shook my hand. He said, you're Randy, right? I said, yeah. I said, go on, just have a seat. And then he started, I don't know, saying all kind of stuff about the school he's gonna have, and then they said, okay, we're gonna go out to eat. And he told me, he said, okay, we'll talk while we're eating. You know, they all went out to dinner, and he interviewed me, and he accepted me as a student. So that was it.
Why do you think he accepted you?
Passion. He saw passion. I was passionate about learning. You know, he asked me, I'm sure you're a Bruce Lee fan. I said, very much so, but that's not why I want to learn JKD. I said, I've tried different art, and they weren't realistic enough. I couldn't really comprehend the reality of combat when it comes to these sports. I want something that is more logical and combative, and I can see that it's going to work in a real life situation. And JKD is the answer. So I said, yeah. He saw that passion and that, honesty of expressing myself. So.
Okay. So you said before that you didn't connect the Jeet Kune Do and Bruce Lee, even though Bruce Lee had his own style and what have you. What about movies? Were you a fan of the movies?
Absolutely. I'm like you, a movie buff. The old Shaw Brothers and all that stuff. I got almost 250 Shaw Brothers videos, man, at home. From the Alexander Fusheng movies, all the Five Deadly Venom movies, the Liu Tang, the David Chang. I got almost 250 something. I collected the Shaw Brother movies. I'm a big fan. But I watched the Bruce Lee movies, of course.
Did you ever try to train the techniques that you saw in the movies? Did you ever practice those?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tried because that was the avenue to learn what Bruce Lee does. And some of these guys, the one I trained with, they said, well, this stuff doesn't work. What are you doing? And they kind of corrected me and stuff like that. So I knew later that some of the stuff is more movie, martial art, like theatrical JKD versus, JKD.
Well, I mean,
a lot of stuff,
kids.
But some of the stuff I like, the way he does the pot da with the back fist and all that stuff in the movie and everything, and the side kick and everything. Yeah, so some things were applicable and I trained them, yes.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So do you remember when you heard that there was, let's call it, a difference of opinion as to what constitutes Jeet Kune Do? Do you remember when it is that you might have heard that? Like when you discovered that Lamar Davis was of a different Jeet Kune Do camp to, say, some other type of Jeet Kune Do camp?
Like the concepts and stuff like that?
Yeah.
The difference between like the original JKD versus the concept JKD? Actually, I found out probably the first class because he kind of explained to me. There's a different camp and stuff like that.
Right.
And he did explain. He said, this is what I teach and this is what I don't teach and stuff like that. So, Of course, my way of thinking changed through the years and stuff like that. I kept, but at that time, I understood where he's coming from and how, what he did is that's his choice, and it was a good choice, and I went with it and I loved it. So
Right. Yeah. Like maybe about 2 hours ago on Facebook, my good friend Ron Kosakowski put up a thing about Jeet Kune Do concepts and original Jeet Kune Do. I don't know if you've seen it yet, right?
I've seen it, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Well, I saw it, but I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it yet.
I don't want to stir the pot some more,
Oh God, no. I mean, look. Here's the thing, right? See, this is the thing. This is a pot that is going to be stirred, conceivably for. I can't say forever because I'm not going to be around forever, but I think that this is a pot that's going to constantly be stirred. But here's the thing. There is some, what they would call haute cuisine. There is some high level cooking that requires constant stirring of the pot, right? Sure. So all it means is that Jeet Kune Do is high level cuisine. That's all it means. Right.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it,
like
right?
Food too.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes,
there is some cooking where you have to pay attention, and you can't not stir the pot. Jeet Kune Do just happens to be that kind of cooking, right? But do you have
mindsets and too many thinking and too many ways to go with JKD? There's a lot of difference of opinion. It allows you there's room for difference of opinions. And
you know what? Well, like I said, I haven't touched it yet, so we'll talk about that another time.
Did you see the post I did about the character, and you said indeed? You remember? You remember the character about knowledge will give you power, but character will give you respect.
Right. Yes.
And you commented on that, and you said indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna stir the pot and mention something about this, where that came from, or why I posted that.
Okay.
Hopefully, I will not offend anybody. I'm not here to do so, but with my respect to everyone, characters have traits, have good traits like generosity, kindness, optimism. Has a good traits, and some characters has bad traits, which is like rudeness and pessimistic and hatefulness and so on. Right. So unity, that post was about the unity in the JKD world. If we focus on the positive traits in our characters when we judge another JKD instructor, then there will not be too much of a disagreement. I'll give you an example, if I may. Okay. You got two JKD instructors, legit JKD instructors. Okay. One think that we shouldn't have Wing Chun because Bruce Lee, through the late years, he shifted away from Wing Chun. So basically, JKD, boxing, fencing, and maybe a little bit of element of Wing Chun and stuff like that. And you got another JKD instructor who believes JKD, Wing Chun is the nucleus or the of JKD, or the mother of JKD. Like Sifu Dan said, he's the nucleus of JKD. So he has 30% of his JKD is Wing Chun. Okay, so you got two different instructors, and they're both in disagreement. 70%, both share 70% DNA of JKD, because the boxing and the fencing and the footwork and all that, and all the theories and the principles of JKD is founded in both. But one guy got the 30%, one guy doesn't. So instead of focusing on the difference, the 30%, why don't they both focus on the similarity, the 70%, and let them grow together? That 70% DNA is founded in both. Like, we all branches are from the same tree. The branch shaped differently, but it comes out of the trunk, and the trunk is the same DNA. So this way, unity could be achieved, and that kind of bring us together if we focus on what we have in common, then we have difference. And everybody has the right to take his journey and enjoy JKD in his own way.
Yeah. But what do you think causes the character trait where people cannot see the commonalities, or they choose to not focus on the commonalities? What do you think is the origin of that character trait?
Well, it all go back how, the person's ideology and thinking and the way he was raised and how he judged people. I mean, that's how the traits is built. Trait is built through how the person was raised, and how his parents raised him and everything, and how he's thinking, and his life experience. Through dealing with people through the years and everything, it will add good traits. It might add bad traits. That's how, our life and dealing with people and the public and stuff like that. That affects what kind of traits we have, and what kind of values and morals that our parents put in us and stuff like that, and what our belief. And some people use religion as a way to enhance their traits, and some people use their culture to enhance their traits, and so everybody's different.
What if the person says that
I'm sorry.
No, man, you kidding? You're talking to me. What if the person
and I'm glad.
What if the person says Bruce Lee is my role model? If Bruce Lee is their role model, and so they structured their thinking similarly to Bruce Lee, what do you think then their approach might be?
That's great, because the man was even though he was cocky, but he was humble at the same time. He had a great values. He had a great respect to everyone, and he never accepted a limitation. So he's a great role model, because he did not believe in limitation, and he believed that anybody can really achieve any goal he wants. So a great role model that is always positive, and he was always positive. Everything he put out was very, very positive. Everything he put out is for you to exceed your own expectation. Everything he put, that is, that you are not bound by anything. There's no boundaries to what you want to achieve in life. So, so definitely, Bruce Lee was a great choice as a role model.
What do you think about when people form their opinions on what is or what is not Jeet Kune Do, and they say, well,
you're gonna get me in trouble, Dwight.
yes, I am. Yes, I am. Right, but I'll be right there with you. Don't worry. I'll be right there in trouble with you. Right?
Then I won't feel bad, not being alone.
No, I'll be right there with you. All right, because this is where I'm going with it.
Uh-oh.
If you weren't there next to Bruce Lee when he said whatever it is that he said, so really anything is now reported speech because you weren't there. Do you think people should put their whole stock in, well, Bruce said this or Bruce did this or whatever? How do they know that it wasn't a throwaway statement, or they don't know the context of it? You see? So how can it become gospel if they don't know the context of it?
There is a funny post of a kid, of a child, and he's kind of doing his head this way, and it said, you said this is how Bruce Lee wanted to teach JKD. When did he tell you that? I don't know if you've seen it, but the kid is like,
no, I haven't seen that one.
A child, he said, oh, that's how you need to teach her. That's how JKD is. When did he tell you that? So well, right. we are limited to judge what JKD is by only the material he put and by what his students say or what he teaches. Personally, I'm not speaking about anybody or imposing my opinion on anyone. I'm just saying what I think. We only judge JKD by what my teacher did, or what my interaction and teaching of being. I think I learned from almost 6-7 Bruce Lee students through the years. Learned a little bit of everything from them, but most of my training came from Sifu Lamar Davis, but also I had training from other first generation students, and also from the reading the material that Bruce Lee's note put. So we are limited to whatever it is. Now the interpretation, people interpret things differently, and a lot of people fall in fault to that interpretation and follow these wrong or correct, the way people interpret what JKD is. So I am not in a position to tell you exactly 100% what JKD is. I just go from my own experience, like I'm sure you do. Everybody go from their own experience and what they've been taught and what they read or what they see. So it is really hard to, it's very hard for anybody to say, okay, this is 100% what JKD is. You might come close, but you can knock somebody down from their choice. Like if somebody want to practice in Kali or Screama, or that's their choice. They want to venture and learn other arts, Now personally, now I'm speaking about me personally, I would love to learn sticks and stuff like that, which is, I've learned the Screama sticks a long time ago, but I did not pursue it because I didn't get a chance. But if I had a chance to do it, I would. But if I teach it to my students, I'm not going to say, okay, this is JKD. I'm going to call it what it is. Like I venture in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I teach my student what I learned from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I call it what it is. I say, this is coming from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is not JKD. So, learning other arts is good. It's healthy.
Right.
It builds attributes. It helps.
Right.
It will enhance your JKD. But, I'm not the person who will actually tell my student, oh, this is JKD. I'll say what it is. You learn that. I'll put it like under the Valor JKD Academy umbrella, but I will call it what it is. So I know I gave you a long answer. I'm sorry.
No. Well, okay. But no, please. Okay. So now let me push back. Let me push back on that. If Bruce Lee had a thing called the four, even if he didn't call it the 4 ranges of combat, that the 4 ranges of combat, the kick and punch and trap and grappling, is definitely an integral part of Jeet Kune Do.
He said 3 ranges, of course.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So however it is that we arrive at this understanding of kicking, punching, trapping, and grappling. If grappling is an aspect of Jeet Kune Do, why do I have to say this is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? You see, why can't I say, okay, so I went into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because they are good grapplers. You see, because I guarantee you, when I teach it, when I show it to my students, it's not going to be 100% Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because they don't do JKD. I do. I'm trying to find what's useful, why it is. I'm trying to find what, I don't want to talk about me. But you understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying. And you're trying to get me in trouble. But okay, let's see how I can answer this tactfully. Okay,
yes.
Okay. All right. If like, let's say you're on the ground in the guard position, like if I'm a student in guard and I'll tell them how to get out of somebody's guard and stuff like that. And you can do, when you can actually jut his hand to your chest and you can do like combine the JKD aspect of trapping and grappling together, which I do. And you can say, okay, this is, you can see how your JKD working in the grappling situation. But of course, when Bruce Lee was alive, he did not teach the sweep and how to get somebody off, from the mount, if somebody mounting you and all that stuff. But that is borrowed from JKD. But you can actually do an arm drag and all that and trap, and that's basically trapping. So there is a point where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and JKD meet, and my job is to explain that to the student. Now, I was taught by my teacher the grappling standing. I wasn't taught the ground and how to, locks and chokes and stuff like that while standing. Now, you can't assume that you're not going to go to the ground. It is not the time to say, oh, I wish I learned grappling when somebody take you down in the street. So there is no way, even though your art is a standing art, there is no way, you can't ignore the fact that there is a possibility. Depends on the environment and depends on the terrain you're in. You might slip and fall and the guy jump over you. You can't just rely on your timing and footwork and interception, and that's it. So it's good to know counter grabbling. Now, I don't teach my student how to stay on the ground and wrestle and work on a submission. No, I teach them counter grappling where they are able to defend themselves so they can get back on their feet and be in their environment. So it's not
you're trying to give your students an education in combat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're always going to go to the environment that you have the advantage. But a lot of times you're not going to be there. But you try to work your way back to it.
So you're not trying to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. You're trying to be a Jeet Kune Do guy. giving his students the experience of ground fighting.
Absolutely. And how to counter ground and pound, because a lot of people will be on the top of you and start grounding and pound, and how to actually control the hands and trap them and everything and sweep them so you can get back on your feet. And now you're back into your own environment and you can do your JKD. So now if somebody wants to say, oh, I like that, but I want to go further, then they can go learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. More power to them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
So okay. So all right. So let me make sure that we agree on this. So then there is a grappling aspect to Jeet Kune Do.
Absolutely, absolutely. You should.
Okay.
You should. You should, because this is what reality forces you to. You know, that's what reality in combat is. You can't assume things. Right. I mean, why Bruce Lee learned judo? You know, he went into judo and all that stuff because there wasn't Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu existed yet. If the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu existed yet, I'm sure he would look into it. But I'm not going to learn everything about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and everything and call it JKD. No, but I am going to use whatever they offer me, tools they offer me from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to counter somebody who's going to jump on the top of me, take me down, and try to bound my head and get back into my environment. So,
which is identical to what Bruce Lee was doing with regards to people who might try to punch him or people who might try to kick him, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to have an understanding of the ranges of combat and how to work them as a chess game to your advantage.
Because we're not supposed to have any limitation.
You got that right.
Right?
Absolutely.
So then the same thing could apply to weapons.
Correct.
Yeah. See?
Yeah,
so what we're talking about here is that 70% on which everybody agrees.
There you go. True.
Right?
True.
That's what we're talking about.
60-70% what everybody agree, and that we should focus on that. You know, like again, we should focus on what we have in common. You know, I think. Go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna show you something else. Did you see this?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Here's what's funny about it, right? Here's what's funny about it. I just ripped off this.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, a lot of folks will whine and everything, and like you said, they're not doing anything about it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I mentioned the character thing, and that's why I mentioned how we should focus on the 70% or 65% commonality between us and use that as a positive note and a positive focus to bring us together.
Do you think sometimes is that there are some people who just have to be right?
Of course. A lot of people want to infuse their opinion and force their opinion and everything, and they shut them. They have a shutter in their head, and they said, okay, this is the way it is. This is the way it's supposed to be. Again, all boiled down to is are you open-minded? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to explore? You know, I think Sifu Randy said it, I think, one time, and I really liked what he said. He said, you explore, you discover, you learn, you grow, and then you create. And as long as the only way to grow is to have an open mind. And the only way to learn is to have an open mind. And if you want to set in your own ways, you know, you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I've always, one of the things I keep in mind is...
I'm talking too much.
No. One of the things I keep in mind is that Bruce Lee's personal library consisted of over 2,000 books, right?
Yeah.
When you heard, when you discovered that, what did that make you think when you first heard that?
I don't know everything. That's what it means. I don't know everything. There's many ways to see things. There's many ways to interpret things. There's many ways to do things.
Right.
You know, there is knowledge. There's knowledge out there, and that's how you know what's right and what's wrong. And that's how by reading a lot of books and see how the best way of doing things and looking at other people's perspective. So.
I mean, it's like, we know, for example, that Buddhism started in India, but today there's Tibetan Buddhism, there's Chinese Buddhism, there's Indian Buddhism, there's Japanese Buddhism, right? Have you ever heard anybody walking around talking about which Buddhism is the best Buddhism?
Yep. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you never hear that.
Mm-mm. Because
must be right. It must be something in the teaching of Buddhism, right?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
The good traits.
Yeah.
All good traits.
So then maybe, you know what? So then here's what you got to do. You got to focus on the teachings of the good trait teachings of Jeet Kune Do.
There you go. That's the best.
Right?
I mean,
because I don't think
say it better. I couldn't say it better, which will make us have an open mind towards and towards other people's opinion and ways of doing JKD.
I really think that you just gave me an idea for a podcast episode. So thank you for that.
I know I come handy somehow. I know I'm handy somehow.
You just gave me an idea. But okay, but I gotta ask you about the about all the swag, because we got the Valor shirt, we got the coffee cup, we got the cap.
You must read Bob Lander's comment, right? He said, "What's the deal with the baseball attire?"
No.
Well,
but I was wondering if that merchandise and stuff, does that come from your corporate background?
No, not really. It comes from my day job. I have a clothing store, and been doing it for 20-something years.
Makes sense.
I teach in the evening. I teach JKD in the evening. So I am more inclined, fashion, clothing oriented type of thing. But it's not my attire is not baseball inspired like Mr. Lander said. It's more soccer oriented, because I played soccer in high school, and it's and I used to wear soccer tracksuits. So it's like the Adidas fitting pants, and it's kind of narrow on the bottom, and they're fitted. And that's why, and they come in different colors, and that's why I like them. And so that's where the inspiration came in. Caps, because I love caps and don't have too much hair left. So no, but I like caps. I like caps.
Yeah.
Also, it's when I put JKD on, it show pride in what you teach, and it's also marketing, because my degree was in marketing in college, so it's the marketing brain always working, Yeah,
there you go. Okay, let me ask you this then. What marketing mistakes were made or what marketing endeavors were not even attempted in the promotion of Jeet Kune Do over the years?
Wow, that's a tough question. Why? Wow, that requires thinking. But it's a good one, though.
I can't make them easy.
Yeah. The marketing mistake is the association of JKD and Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is the most famous martial artist out there. Everybody know who Bruce Lee is, but not everybody know JKD. So the mistake is in marketing is associating JKD with Bruce Lee from the beginning. If there was an association teaching the public about JKD and that JKD was created by Bruce Lee and with the benefit of JKD, what JKD is all about, and that association was put out there always, then people would know what JKD is. But everything's put out there: Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee. So, the association of both to the public, not to us, not to the martial art world, to the public, because you can see Bruce Lee and JKD, Bruce Lee picture and JKD in the martial art magazines. But no, we want it to be marketed to everyone, That's why MMA is a mainstream, because it's out there. It's out there. And Bruce Lee is out there. Everybody knows Bruce Lee, but not everybody knows JKD. But we should have did the association from the beginning, not now.
Oh, okay. I
but it's never too late anyway. So.
No, it can't be. Yeah. And it can't be because look, we're still having conversations about him.
Mm-hmm. If that association was made a long time ago, then we would have been a lot more well known to the public. So.
Okay, so now let me really try to get you in trouble.
Oh my goodness, it is. I thought I was already in trouble. I'm not even reading the comments and stuff like that. I am not.
No. Now I'm really gonna try to get you in trouble. Okay, you ready? You ready? So you went out to the Jeet Kune Do nucleus meetings, right?
Yes.
So what did they do wrong in terms of marketing?
Really, they did what they can, but again, they did. I don't know. We're in '98. We had Facebook, right? I think we did. Did we? Did we have Facebook?
I came to Facebook late because I thought it was going to be something stupid.
We didn't have social media for them to actually market the nucleus and stuff like that. But they did. Okay. They should have went and to other magazine, not martial art magazine, like Health and Fitness. They should put ads in Health and Fitness magazine, wellness magazines, other different martial art, different workout magazines. Maybe I don't know if they did, but they should have not just say, okay, we're gonna just put an ad in a black belt magazine and that's it. They should have actually went and put different ads, because you never know who's reading it. We didn't have social media, but that's that. And they should have actually extended an invitation to a prominent martial arts schools. Said, okay, this is an invitation only to the black belts in these schools if they want to get exposure to JKD or Bruce Lee's fighting system, and invite the black belts from different karate or taekwondo schools or Shotokan schools and all that. And they didn't do that, this way to build more exposure into JKD. And look how many martial art, karate and taekwondo and Shotokan and other kung fu schools out there. You should have. They should have reached out to a lot of people.
Okay. Now I'm going to make you put your marketing degree to work.
Okay. I thought it's already working.
You ready?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Ready? You ready? Okay.
Yes, sir.
How do you market Bruce Lee to women's health and fitness?
Your question's getting harder and harder and harder, man. I should have been the quiet man and didn't say a few words and that's it. But I'm inviting you to ask me all these questions.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yep.
How women. The approach would been how Bruce Lee JKD is, how effective it is as a self-defense for women. The element of JKD that's founded self-defense for women. So how JKD can empower women. So you should hit women magazines that are about empowerment, like Empowered Women magazine, how to empower women with the principles and the method of teaching and the techniques and all that of JKD, because JKD is about realistic reality of combat, and a woman only get attacked in real life situation. This is not about sports and all that stuff. So, and it's a way to empower women. There is no style that can empower women like JKD, and that's the angle we should approach. Did I do good?
Yes. How do you market? How do you market Bruce Lee to the wellness industry? So to, like, let's say it's a magazine and the name of the magazine is Awakenings, or the name of the magazine is Awareness, right? That kind of that aspect of or it's to selfgrowth.com. How do you market Bruce Lee to them?
Selfgrowth.com or now? Okay, now we got two different things. Selfgrowth.com or the wellness?
Well, I'm trying to put, I'm calling the wellness industry that whole focus on personal development. So not health and fitness as in lifting weights and working out and what have you.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? More of a holistic approach.
More of the psychological, mental approach.
Yeah.
The only way, really, the way to market it is to use the JKD principles, how the JKD principles can actually affect the way a person thinks, and how it changes. The changes that these principles, the different changes that these principles can actually affect the behavior of different people, and how they think about setting goals and achieving certain goals in life, whether it's business and stuff like that. So you have to go, and what you have to do seminars, like speech. Like this is the way to approach these folks in the self-growth. You have to be a speaker. You have to do different events where you can speak to a different group of people and all that, and explain the strategic aspect and the how the principles and the concepts and the fighting principles of JKD, how to actually transfer to fighting things in real life, and how they affect you, like being like water, how to adjust and stuff like that. And that's
okay. One more. The only way I'll approach it. One more.
Stop.
One more.
Let's go back to JKD and forget the marketing.
No. One more. No, you brought it up.
By the way, I'm gonna explain something about something I teach has to do be like water. Is that something I want to share with everybody? Maybe something that people can use. I call it spawning the water, but I would like to share that with you. But you go ahead.
All right,
we'll do that.
All right,
go ahead.
Just to do. It's just because you mentioned the word. You said the word business. So how do you market Bruce Lee to the business industry? How do you get somebody to see Bruce Lee the businessman? Did he freeze or did I freeze? So well, you know what? I can't even tell you guys exactly, while we wait for Sifu Randy to come back in, I can't even tell you guys exactly who I'll be sharing the space with next Friday. There is a kind of a JKD round table that I'm working on, but I haven't been able to confirm it. I'm hoping that I will be. But then based on some of the stuff that's going on Facebook earlier today, if that JKD roundtable does not happen, then I'm fairly sure I might be able to introduce a variation on the dialogues next Friday instead. So I guarantee you, no matter what, there will be something happening at 6 p.m. next Friday here on the Jeet Kune Do Dialogue. So everybody just stand by, right? So he's going to try to click back in. I feel like William Hurt in broadcast news. Most of you on here are probably too young to understand that reference. But anyhow, did you guys see what I did? Because somebody on I Love Jeet Kune Do had actually put. Okay, so he's back. Okay.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
we were having too much fun, man. Yeah, we were having too much fun.
I guess so. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened. It's just everything shut off. I don't know what happened.
All right. So tell us about that. No. Tell us about that. About your thing. Then you call it what? Sparring the water.
No, spoiling the water.
Spoiling the water. Okay. All right. So yeah.
Correct.
So tell everybody about that.
Okay. We teach. All of us at JKD instructors, we teach people, to be like water and flow and adapt to different situations. Like water. I use a technique spawning the water. Kind of. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, you're there. Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. So, let's see, we'll do different drills and let the student do a drill, like a certain set drill, like for about 3, 4, 5 reps. Then I will go and whisper in the ear of the other student and say, okay, just throw something in there, anything, and I'll tell the other student he's going to do something, different things, and that will disturb the drill, and you have to react to whatever he does.
Right.
So I call it spoiling the water. So it focuses on reacting than thinking, because the water will stop flowing as well if you put sand in it. If you put particles in it, the water is not going to flow as smooth as it is. So that's why I call it spoiling the water. The focus on reacting than thinking. I let the student have a comfort way of thinking, and he does a drill, and all of a sudden things get, throw a monkey wrench in there. Different things come up, and the other person does different things that's unexpected, and he has to react to it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's why I call it spawning the water.
All right. So here's what I thought of as you were explaining that. Remember earlier you said that all of us in Jeet Kune Do, we're all different, and so we're all going to look at things differently and whatever. I didn't bring it up then. And you will see that. So when we finish here and we go on Facebook and we start reading comments and whatever, somebody is going to be talking about how, everybody in Jeet Kune Do sees it their own way, and everybody has their interpretation or whatever. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't think that's true.
Okay.
Right? Yes, we're all different. But as Bruce Lee himself said, until man has 3 arms, 3 legs, and what have you, there's really only so many things you can do. until man has some kind of different brain. We are all going to, we might come up with the idea at a different time. We might come up with a different name for the idea, but that idea you have of throwing a monkey wrench in, there is no way that that is brand new to some people in JKD.
Oh, no, it's not.
You see, right? You see what I'm saying?
No, it's not. I just call it spoiling the water. Somebody else might call it something else.
Exactly. Yeah. You see, so that's why I'm suggesting that's why I'm suggesting that there is even more commonality. So now maybe we can raise it to 80% what we have in common.
I love you, Dwight. I really love you, Sifu Dwight. That's great. That's great to look at it. See, positive, man. Positive. I love it. Honestly, positive. Yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir. Actually, the reason I mentioned that, the reason I mentioned the spoiling the water, because people can relate to it. I'm sure other people call it something different. You know, they call that tactic in teaching something different. But because I use the word spoiling the water is because I never heard anybody do it or call it that. Yeah. And I came up with it, and something we can relate to because of we always think be like water, be adaptable, you know, and flow and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to mention that maybe another JKD instructor might use that to kind of get the point across to his student and use the word, you know, spoiling the water. The student might relate to that word, that term. So.
Yes, right. Look, attack by combination. All of us in JKD are familiar with that because it's a terminology that Bruce Lee introduced, right? But it doesn't mean that nobody else attacks by combination. It just happens to be Jeet Kune Do's proprietary language. Spoiling the water as a marketer, that's your proprietary language. Yeah.
Correct, sir.
You see?
Correct.
So that's so even more so if we are thinking about what we're doing, if we are evolving in how we train, teach, develop JKD, then it will continue to grow. It doesn't matter if you call it spoiling the water, I call it something else or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We're still on the same page. Yeah,
absolutely.
We're still on the same page.
And maybe we can get up to 90%. Absolutely.
Right? That's the thing. Absolutely. That's the thing that's important, you know. So hey man, I'm telling you. So listen, all right, so let's put a wrap on this, right? This was
okay.
The car, let's put a wrap on this because I gotta do some stuff I might have to go to a memorial service tomorrow, so I gotta do some research on that. But this was fun, man. This was fun. I'm glad we had this time together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I enjoyed it. I'm very, very humbled by your invitation and glad to be here. And actually, what I want to say is, whatever you're doing, I think you're like a lightning torch to a dark tunnel in JKD that show us the light at the end of the tunnel. I think it's what you're doing is really, really great and a great step towards unity in the JKD world.
Well, I appreciate that. I just wish I'd started doing it a lot sooner.
Well, you're doing it, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, you take care. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, people. That was Sifu Randy of Valor JKD. Check him out on Facebook. And feel free to share, like, and comment. He's a Facebook guy, so he'll go through it and he'll answer anything that's necessary. I'll review everything I have to post. And follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D Woods. At ilovejeetkundo.com. Quick Skill Series Volume 1 still available. Like I said earlier, next Friday, one of two things is going to happen, but something will happen. I will not let you guys down, right? So I'll see you back here at 6 p.m. Otherwise, I'll see you on Wednesday. And Sifu Randy just gave me another topic idea for an I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast, so we'll see what happens there, right? Okay, so until then, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Peace.
One more time. All right, we're gonna do 2 reference points. Normally in trapping, you know, we spoke about 1 reference point. Now 2 reference point. This point right here, Jitsu really it comes really handy. You can jut and land a strike. Of course, as you see how I pinned his arm in there. Mm-hmm. Of course, that will happen if we're both comparable heights. Now, if you both hands on the inside, then I just hit him. That's it. Okay, but my favorite is when one hand on the outside and one hand on the inside. Okay, why is that? Well, from this point, I can do a lot of stuff. I can utilize the juts out. Okay, as you see, I jut, I can pin it to my body. I can control one arm and shoot for a manginks out. Can do a headbutt, elbow strike, boom, go for a knee strike. So that comes really feasible. So from here, you can be in the clinch position. Okay. So even if I shoot for the manginks out and I throw a punch and move cross, he parry across the center line, you just hit into a back fist, boom, you trap him again and hit him again. And hit him again, and hit him again. All right? So let's practice.